Hi guys, it's Rob from Royal Balls. Sorry for the interlude in content, I've been busy with life, but I'm back now. Last week I spent more than 3 hours at ARP Constrictors and he did a live stream for his Malaysian audience on Facebook, which some of you may have seen. It's taken me a little while to edit that footage down, but here is Arwin talking about the local ball python market and how it's affecting him, his business and his strategy. And there's also some awesome looking snakes. So over to Arwin.
Okay, so everyone can hear me clearly, right? Meanwhile, we'll wait. Let me just show you all some snakes. So this is a pastel highway leopard. I have a clown version I'll show later, but I really like how this turned out. Hello, my piece. Are you the claw hospital, bro? Yeah, sure. Send me one, Robert. It's okay. We will, at the end of the video, we will move the camera nearer and we'll show the snakes for a while. I just want to show some snakes because I don't want it to be very boring. But that's not why we mainly did this live video today. One of the main reasons we are doing this is to address a few issues and how we are moving forward with the market change, how it has changed, and all that things lah. So we also have Rob come and give his opinion at towards the end of the live. Okay, so I think we can get started. First of all, I think everybody has noticed that there is a huge market change, not in Malaysia. It's a worldwide thing. It's a global issue, where a lot of people are panicking. They're dumping snakes. Some people are not sure to buy snakes. Some people are expecting to get like a crazy deal or quitting sale, and a lot of things is going on. So also in Malaysia, I see comments everywhere that the ball python market is dead. It's not coming back up. It's gonna crash. It's gonna burn and everything. I think there's a few things we should remember before we talk about the whole market and all the financial things that's involved in it. That first of all, it's a hobby. Same as any other hobby. Everybody will try to make some money out of the hobby because they enjoy doing it. While doing something they enjoy, they can make some money. Okay, so I think first we have to look at this as why we all started keeping snakes. I don't think so any of us started keeping snakes because we want to sell and make money out of it or as a career. We did not start that way. All of us started because we like reptiles and we had an interest in ball python. That's why we started keeping them. So that's the main thing. So if your passion is first, I don't think so the market trend or the financial curve of it is going to make much of a difference to you whether you should or should not keep snakes. That's I think it's irrelevant. I think it's totally irrelevant. Like me, even if I do not do this business, it's not a question whether I'll keep the snakes or not. It's just whether I'll keep the business running or not. So as a hobby, it does not matter what the market trend is, what is selling and what is not selling. It doesn't matter at all. So what matters is you enjoy keeping your animals. And with most hobbies primarily do not make money. Hobby is something that you spend your money, time doing something you enjoy. Generally, the return is only your joy. That's about it. So I think a lot of us forgot about this. We kept thinking that we can make money out of these snakes, so it became too much focus on the financial part of it. So that's the first thing. So second thing, let's see what has happened. It is not that ball python industry is crashing or even say the pet industry is crashing. No, everything globally is slow. Every sale, every product is moving very slow. Everybody's business is moving very slow. I have a construction business, I have this business, and I do dabble here and there in a few other things, and everything is slow. So it's not just that the snakes are not moving. The snake is just the most obvious because that's the first thing. It's not essential. The snakes are not essential, so obviously it's going to slow down a lot more than others. But we have been selling snakes, as you guys can see. We've hatched plenty of snakes. We have been selling them. Yes, the sales is not as strong as it used to, but we are still surviving, and I have no doubt that we will survive through this entire thing. So let's look at how I look at this whole thing. I'm not looking at it as like, oh, the market is going to go down for the next 6 months and it's going to bounce right back to where it was. No, it's not going to happen like that for a few obvious reasons. Everything during the pandemic increased in price, increased in value. Watches, Rolexes went for 200-300% of what they should have been going for during COVID. So right after COVID, everything took a hit because it's just the market correcting itself. It's nothing to do with what is doing well, what is not doing well. It's just market correcting itself. Excuse me. That is that. And yes, it's very similar to a lot of other things like Legos, a lot of collectibles and everything. During COVID, the price was crazy, and after COVID, the price has come down slightly lower than what it was even before COVID because there's not much demand. There's sudden drop in demand, and there is a lot of people who wanted to make a quick buck, got into it, and they feel stuck. I've already mentioned this during COVID that after COVID, the market will slow down. So there's no point gearing on and trying to breed thousands of snakes expecting that you're going to make the same sales that I made during COVID. It's not going to happen. And I made those sales in COVID because I did not start breeding during COVID for COVID market. I was just doing what I was doing all the while. I just like snakes, I breed them, I keep the nice ones. Even during COVID, I did not sell a lot. I did not sell my whole bags. I still kept my whole bags. I could have sold them. They were selling really fast, as most of you saw. So I did not sell those knowing that the market is going to drop. But it doesn't matter because as long as you love it, you do it properly, I don't think so you can go bankrupt because of this. Unless you go take a high interest loan at 20% a year and go invest into 1 million ringgit worth of snakes and you expect to, you know, recover everything within 24 months, it's not going to happen. That's not how it works in any business, in any hobby. So that is that. So let's see how it's going on. It has been slow for everybody in every industry. I can't really particularly think of any industry that's doing extra well now. Can you think of anything that's doing extra well now?
Our industry's not doing bad.
Yeah. Our industry's not
Electric vehicles.
Yeah, EV. But even Tesla took a hit. Tesla's price has dropped and shares dropped. A lot of things has been going on. Nobody can predict what is going on and how it's going to pan out and how long. Because everybody said it's going to be bad for 1 to 2 years after COVID and everything is going to recover back. No, it's 2024. We are still as screwed as ever. So we need to look at the bigger picture and how the whole economy has been changing. So from that, we know that the ball python trend has changed. A lot of people came into the hobby thinking that they can make a quick buck. They invest a couple of 100,000, they think they can make $1 million in a year, and they are out. But that's what didn't work. It's the same. Gloves were doing really well during COVID, but those companies that expanded so much during COVID collapsed right after it. So with everything there is a moderation, but with every opportunity, people will try to overdo it, and this is what happens when you overdo it. So besides that, what does it mean to you guys as hobbyists, as people who keep snakes? Yes, maybe you bought a snake for 3,000 ringgit, and maybe now the prices have come down to 2,000 ringgit. But does it really matter? You buy a bike for 50 grand, and 1 month later, if you want to sell, it's only 25k worth. It's nothing. People who bought Teslas for about 400 plus k, the Model 3, I think, overnight, I think Tesla came out with official distribution chain and everything, and the prices dropped 100k. What are you gonna do about it? You already have spent the money, and everything depreciates unless it's not fun. Something that doesn't depreciate is usually not fun, like gold. You can keep gold, it doesn't depreciate, but it's not fun. Everything fun because you get the benefit of the joy that you get out of the hobby. So you can't really put a price on that. So I think hobbies should take it lightly. Don't get frustrated because prices are coming down or what. I think about 12 years ago, I bought a banana ball python for 50,000 ringgit. Now it's worth what, 800-900 ringgit a plain banana? But I didn't lose money because I bred them, I still made money. So it doesn't really matter how much the prices are dropping and who is selling what, who thinks it's a good idea to get into ball python. If you get into the hobby because you love snakes, it doesn't matter. Okay, so let's look at the breeders who have invested slightly more than the normal hobbyists. The way I see this, we bred quite a number of snakes this year. We bred some high-end snakes, some mid-end snakes, some low-end snakes. If I don't really sell the high-end snakes, I'm very happy to keep them so I can upgrade my collection. See, regardless how the market trend is going to change, I want to keep nicer snake. If say the snake is worth 20k last year, and say I have to price it at 10k now, I would rather keep the snake. I'm not going to sell it cheap. So for most of the smaller breeders, the upcoming breeders, you could also take this as an opportunity to buy good quality snakes, higher end morphs at a very reasonable price because of the market price change. So I think there is still I don't think so the hobby is going to die off. I mean, everybody compares it to leopard gecko and bearded dragon, how badly it has crashed and everything. Yes, but those animals breed really fast. A kid from high school can breed, even from primary school can breed leopard geckos and bearded dragon, and they breed a lot. So that is part of the reason. But even now, I wouldn't say the hobby is dead. The hobby is not dead. More people we sell a lot of leopard geckos. We sell plenty of leopard geckos. It still sells. People still enjoy keeping the animal. Stop looking at these reptiles as primarily like, oh, I spent this much, I need to breed this, and I have to make this much. But trust me, if you do have a working project, you spend more money on it, the prices have come down, as long as you breed, I don't think you're going to lose money. No matter at what price point. Because if so, every big breeder should be panicking and clearing out our entire collection. Justin would have sold out his business. I would have sold out everything a year ago when I already saw this coming. So there's nothing much to panic, and it doesn't really matter. Yeah, exactly. So there's a lot of speculation that it's gonna completely crash. No, first of all, it's not that easy to breed that many ball pythons in that short time period. With leopard geckos and bearded dragon, yes, ball pythons they're not that efficient to breed in that large quantity. It cannot be done. You can't produce 3,000 ball pythons over a span of year. When you start from zero, it's not going to happen. It's not that easy. So that makes it much more stable. Yes, the prices have been coming down. It has dropped, but I don't think it's going to be that bad, because eventually those people that came in this for a quick shortcut way of making money are going to quit. So when they quit, the market will correct itself. Do I think the prices will go higher than what they are now? I don't think so, because usually prices go low and they stay around that. But here's the thing, it doesn't matter, because older morphs always sell cheaper eventually. Like I told you, banana I bought for 50k, I'm selling them for about 800 ringgit now. So prices will come down, and there will always be new morphs and new genetics that we want to work with. So those will replace the older morphs that are high end now. So it's just a cycle that it will continue. Maybe it will not be as crazy as it was a couple of years ago, as it shouldn't. It shouldn't be that crazy. We shouldn't be selling 100k worth of snakes in a span of half an hour like we did during COVID. That was a different. It was a timing thing. It was a very short burst of the market. So just because you expect the same amount of sales, you wanted to breed snakes within a week, you wanted it to fly out of the shelf. No, it's not going to happen. When I started this hobby, I was the first person to breed about 50 clutches a year. The person who bred before me had about 10 clutches, and he took some time to sell out his 50 snakes. I produced about 300 snakes the first year I bred, which was absolutely crazy, and Malaysia just did not have that much capacity to consume that many morphs and snakes to buy them. Basically there wasn't a big demand, but we still managed to finish selling every single thing. So it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter how the financial thing is going to change. As long as you enjoy the hobby, you breed it, I don't see. I'm not regretting. I hold back about 3 to 400,000 ringgit worth of holdbacks during COVID, which I could have sold every single one. So many people are asking for them. I chose not to because I like them. I want to keep the snakes. Yes, today, if I sold it at that point, now I'll have more money, but I'm not regretting it. I love the snakes. I'm happy that I kept those snakes. Even now, I'm not selling those holdback. I'm not panicking. I'm not doing anything. So what we will do now, I'll talk a little bit about how ARP Constrictors is going to react to this whole thing. We've been thinking of matching US prices for quite some time, but we've always thought you guys have always been paying a slight premium in Malaysia and all Asian countries compared to US, because it's harder for us to obtain snakes here. We have to breed it here. There's a lot of things that increases the cost. In US, there's just so many breeders. It's easier for breeders to obtain snakes from other breeders at a very good price. They can just drive and pick up 10 snakes from their show and come back. It's just a lot more convenient to breed snakes there. It wasn't here. So that is part of the reason why there's always a premium. So we ship expensive snakes here, we take the risk, we have to keep them a couple of years, we breed them, so the babies go for a slightly more premium than what they're retailing for in US. But we were supposed to match the prices quite close to US prices during COVID, because then COVID happened and the market was just crazy. We did not want to even bother doing anything. And now I believe that we are producing consistently, as in like us, we are breeding enough snakes consistently every year, and also at quality and quantity that would match most of the big breeders globally. So I don't think there is necessarily to be a huge what do you call that, extra charges just because you can get them locally compared to US prices. Because even when we import snakes, they are more expensive because there's import charges and there's a middleman and there is shipping, there's licensing, a lot of things. So we have decided, after thinking about this for quite a while, I've been thinking about this for a few months, I have talked about this to a few close customers as well, we decided to come much closer, to close the gap between Malaysia price and US price. There is a gap, there is a huge gap actually. So we can't go one-on-one definitely yet, but we would go very close, because I want to release a single price list which I want to use for exporting snakes and retailing snakes locally. So there's going to be one price list. We're going to price the snakes in USD. So for the local market, you just have to take whatever amount, let's say it's 100 USD, you can just times it by 5. So that's how we're going to sell it locally. So yes, there's going to be a price adjustment. The price adjustment, I think, is quite significant, but I don't think so it's so crazy that it shouldn't be happening or whatever it is. I think it's fine. We have to eventually adjust the price closer to US price, because I can't justify why we are charging such a premium for the same snakes, because we are breeding them here and everything, and we are not that reliant on importing the the breeders for us to breed. We have been producing, most of our upgrade has been in-house. We've been just breeding snakes with each other and we've been getting upgrades, so we've not really been spending that much on imports. That's also another reason which is why I could afford to bring down the prices closer. And other than that, so that's the big news. We'll be releasing a new price list in USD, and it will stay that way after this. But this also means there's not going to be much of promotions and sales and whatever in the foreseeable future, because it is already going to be a very sweet spot for the pricing. At this point, I don't see the necessity for us to import, or I preferably do not like to export the snakes. I prefer to sell it in Malaysia, most of the snakes, but I would still export them if there is request. We did export to Brunei last year, and we have illegally exported to Sabah before, so we will do it, but I prefer to retail them locally. So the local market comes first, and the surplus will get exported, unless it's the high-end range of ball pythons, which will be, if there's customers, will export it. So other than that, what else do we want to talk about? So the market is slow, but nothing to panic. It's not end of the world. I'm not selling my business. I'm keeping everything. I'm not even reducing my collection. I actually added in 60 more snakes last month. I'm holding back a lot of expensive snakes. All of these are holdbacks. We are holding back 2 male exotic clowns. When people want to buy, we don't even want to sell them. So it's not end of the world. Just chill, guys. Just enjoy the hobby. It will be fine. Unless you went to a loan shark and took a few 100,000 ringgit loan at a very high interest rate because you thought you would make a quick buck out of snakes, then I'm sorry. I'll just make a RIP video for you if you did that. So that doesn't matter. So the third thing was the price adjustment. There is going to be a price adjustment, and it is going to be pretty significant, but it also means there is not going to be much of a all this, buy two free one deals and everything, because if we are closing the gap, we can't be doing that anymore. So with the price adjustment, I would like to address one more thing: the snakes that we have recently sold. So for that, you guys can contact us. We will try to sweeten up, work on a deal. Like you buy a Mercedes and the next month the price drops, then you go back to the dealer. The dealer gives you
some new wheel covers,
some wheel covers and an exhaust and stuff. So we can do something for you. Don't worry about it. We'll protect everybody. I will always protect my customers. That's part of the reason why I've never dropped price. We've been doing this for 13 years, and price is something that I have never drop to just make another sale, because I believe in my snakes quality, I believe in my work, I believe that it costs me a lot more money to make those snakes compared to buying from so and so. So I've always thought I've charged fair, and I'm not gonna compete in terms of price. I'm gonna compete in terms of quality, in terms of health, in terms of service, but not in terms of price. But we are now dropping price is not because we can't sell. We have been selling snakes. As you guys follow our Telegram channel, there's still snakes selling. Yes, it's a little bit slow, but we also want to shuffle the whole price point of the ball pythons. So in a way, it's good. It will be more affordable for newcomers to keep prettier looking snakes. We'll make slightly less money because we're going to be selling it slightly cheaper. But again, it doesn't matter, because for me, I love doing this, not because how much money. When I started this, everybody thought I was crazy. Everybody thought I'm going to lose all my money, I'm going to be broke, and I'll be homeless. Yeah, that's what everybody thought I would be, and I still did it. So for me, it doesn't matter. It will be fine. I don't think so. The market is going to bounce back and everything is going to go so expensive again. That's not going to happen. Let's just be honest. This is not gold, it's not petroleum, it's not Rolex. That's not going to happen. So what's going to happen is it's going to stay slow for a while, and all these touch and go breeders, touch and go resellers, all this is going to slow down and slowly disappear a little bit the moment they realize it's not that easy to make that much money, and it will leave the more passionate people in the hobby, and the market will slowly pick up by itself. And the newer moths will cost more money eventually, because everything high-end is still expensive. It didn't really drop that much. It's the mid-range stuff that actually has slowed down. The cheaper stuff are selling very fast. The high-end stuff is still moving. It's the mid-range where people are a bit hesitant. Now the mid has always been the one where people think, should I? So as a whole, it's nothing to panic. I'm not dumping my collection. I've slowed down breeding because I bred this year, most of them late. As most of you guys know, I don't breed my females every year. I breed them 2 years once. So whatever is late, I'm not breeding. I'm choosing about maybe 30 females to breed this season. And it's actually already January, and if we haven't started breeding, we're taking our time. We always take our time. We never rush this thing.
Can I jump in here and prompt you
sure.
about some of the things that we've actually discussed during the week? Going from 200, 150, 120 clutches a year down to just 30 is actually a massive strategy change for ARP constrictors. It is,
but you see, the 30 clutches that we would probably be making would be half as much as the 200 clutches, because they're going to be very high-end snakes, they're going to be really nice snakes, which again, I don't care if I don't sell. I'm going to keep them. So that is a big change, and I think if every breeder does this for a year or maybe 2 years, I think the market will bounce back pretty much okay. Yes, we will have some breeders getting greedy, or everybody's slowing, I'll breed more, so I'll make more sales, but we don't care about all that.
Now, you also made a significant comment about reducing the prices, particularly of your mid-range snakes, which are the ones that typically your hobbyist breeders will be purchasing. They'd rather make their own high-end stuff from the ingredients rather than just buy a high-end snake straight off. typically, now that you're going to match morph market prices, US
We'll
prices,
try to close the gap as much as possible without killing ourselves.
that does mean that breeders here in Malaysia will have an opportunity to buy those mid to low high-end snakes at a price where they don't need to import them from the States.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why I look at this as an opportunity. I look at everything as an opportunity. So I look at this as a good opportunity for me to keep high-end snakes. I am even going to purchase 1 or 2 high-end snakes for my own collection also. And I'm also holding back the top production of this year, because I see this as an opportunity that I would keep the nicest snake. And most smaller breeders would also think like that. I think it's a good opportunity for them to get into particular projects at a much lower starting point, rather than, you know, invest so much into it. So I see it as overall not such a bad news for anybody actually. For the hobbies, it doesn't matter. You like the snakes, you buy the snakes, you keep the snakes. They are your pets. You don't put a price on your dog, how much you bought and how much it costs to feed it, or your cat or anything. So same thing as snake, it's a pet. Enjoy it. So for the smaller breeders, I see this as an opportunity to get into projects that they couldn't before this, because the pricing will be a little bit more affordable. For the more serious breeders, you don't have to sell your high-end stuff. You can just keep them and upgrade. That's what I'm doing. I'm holding back all the Dream Seekers and OD Yellow Belly Batmans and Exantic Clowns, and I'm not feeling the pinch that much, because since the prices are lower, it costs me lower to just keep them. So you want to jump in, Rob, for a few minutes?
I can.
Yeah,
if everybody wants to listen to me.
Yeah, let's just get you in. Okay, let me just read all the comments meanwhile Rob moves over this side.
Is that good, Sammy? Can you see me as well?
Yes.
Am I not too high?
No, you're good.
Unless you're on pod.
Hi guys, for those of you that don't know me, I'm Rob from Royal Balls, as the t-shirt says. Arwen's asked me to jump in. I guess he needs a kind of second opinion, so it doesn't just sound like it's him talking about the ball python market. My background is in the oil industry, a very profit-focused industry, and so my thoughts on the ball python market are perhaps a little bit more pragmatic than Arwen's. He is a hobby breeder, I am a hobby breeder, that's the reason that I'm in the hobby. But every business is constantly evolving, and the ball python market is evolving. I don't see this as short-term cyclicity, I see this as a long-term progression in the industry. Ball pythons breed once a year, and they live for 20, 30, 40 years. And the last 20 years has seen a boom in people wanting to keep ball pythons. Typically when you breed a ball python, a male is useful for 1 or perhaps 2 seasons. A female is useful for 3 or perhaps 4 seasons. What are you going to do with them for the rest of the 30 years that they're going to live? You move them on to other breeders. Over the last 20 years, everybody that wants to buy ball pythons has bought ball pythons. The market is full. I think what we're going to see when the market does rebound is a new normal. We're not going to see a return to the good old days.
By good old days, Rob means like
60 years ago.
Yeah, you invest 20k USD into a new morph, and you breed out 20 new babies, and you sell each for 15k USD, and you make $1 million out of it. I don't think so that is going to happen, because I think we all have to accept the fact that, you know, it was a time period where I could do it, but we could still make money. I don't think so that, you know, we're gonna lose money by breeding ball pythons. It's just the profit is no longer as big as it used to be. I don't think so it's going to be as big as it used to be.
We talk about the low-end market, perhaps the prep trade, the normals and the low-end snakes that you produce, which are less than 1k here in Malaysia. The mid-range snakes go from 1.5, 2k up to 10k, 11k, wherever you want to draw that margin for mid-range snakes. And then you've got your high-end snakes, which go for the top prices. As the market starts to rebound, all the new morphs, the new genes that are coming in, those prices are going to rebound quicker. The very top end of the market will always sell at the top end of the market. I think where your average hobby breeder or your mid-range commercial breeder is going to suffer is in the mid-range to the low range. Your mid-range is not coming back. It is not going to bounce back. Prices are not going to come back. You're going to end up with your mid-range snakes being your low-end snakes, and they're going to go for low-end prices. So we're going to see a differentiation of the market. There will no longer be a spectrum from cheap to expensive. That middle ground is going to drop out. Those snakes will still exist. They will be the bulk of the snakes, but those prices are not coming back ever.
But in a way, that has always been how ball python worked also, you see.
Banana ball pythons.
Yeah, you look at clowns. The first clown we ever hatched in Malaysia, we sold it for I think about 6,500 ringgit, and that was cheap at that point. It was 1-to-1 US price, and now they are 1,000 plus ringgit. And that's just not even COVID time. I was selling them for about 2K. So there will always be new morphs. They will move down, and then the mid ranges will become the new low ends, and there'll be newer high ends. It's always the same cycle. It's just a little bit more obvious now. That's about it. It has always been how it worked. Bananas used to be 50K, and then they became 5K, and then it became 500 USD, and then now it just became like 200 USD. That's about it, or less maybe. So it's exactly how it has been. Nothing much changed. It's just that people's expectations on ball python has become so high during the COVID. See, everybody thought, I'm going to invest in 100K, and in 24 months I'm going to make 500K ringgit profit. It's not that easy. If it's that easy, I would be driving a Rolls Royce by now, because I've been doing this for 13 years. My success has been a cumulative effort of more than a decade of 13 years of breeding. So whatever I've earned and I've made is years and years of work. The first 7 to 8 years of doing this, I've never taken out money for myself. I've never withdrawn a salary. But 7-8 years later, I took money out of the business to build the business more. I got a facility, I have a better facility, so I keep reinvesting so much into the business or the hobby. That's how I grew it. It wasn't an overnight thing. I didn't take out 50K and go purchase a bunch of snakes and make 500K the next year and make shit tons of it. It didn't work like that. It's not going to work like that. I think our problem here is the expectation versus reality. So during COVID, yes, we had a boom, sudden burst. I've lost money due to that also, because I bought, say, some watches and some stuff during that season, and I sold it for a lower price and I lost some money. It happens. That's why it's called the burst. It did happen, and exactly what happened with everything else has happened to ball pythons too. People's expectation is too high. So it's not scheme cepat kaya. It's not a get rich quick scheme. Okay, in a few minutes I'll go through the questions and answer. I'll just finish up with this part of it now.
Can I just talk a little bit about strategies? What we can do as a hobby breeder like myself? What can we do to help ourselves
not get frustrated?
Not get frustrated and not get bankrupt. The reality is that I have racks full of baby snakes that are not selling. I've got a lot of snakes that need rehoming. If they don't sell, I have to feed them, and that can get very onerous. So your ball pythons do not need feeding every week. One of the strategies that I am employing is to actually reduce the amount of feeding. The snakes don't suffer from that, but it does mean that I'm not going to breed them. So I have stopped breeding for this season, and I'm going to focus on maintaining the hatchlings and the snakes that I have. When I do breed again, I think the days of pairing up snakes just for the sake of pairing them up and producing baby snakes to sell is no longer effective, because they're simply not going to sell. I would recommend that you take a long, hard look at your pairings, and if there is nothing in the clutch that you can produce that you're not going to hold back, and Arwen's talked about that strategy now. This is a hobby and we do want to progress our projects.
Yeah.
If there is nothing in that clutch that you are going to hold back and you expect to sell them all, you're not keeping any, don't do it. Don't breed them because you're not going to sell them. There are enough surplus from clutches where you're going to keep 1 or 2 holdbacks for your own projects. There's enough surplus there to fill the needs of the current market. So think very carefully about your pairings before you pair. I've always encouraged new breeders to get into the hobby and breed whatever you've got. Go for it, because the more people that join the hobby, the better. And that still stands. But once you have 2 or 3 clutches under your belt and you're a little more experienced, it's time to get more selective. Don't just breed any old snake just for the sake of breeding.
Because you're not going to sell them.
They won't sell.
You have to breed. You have to be a little bit more well versed in genetics. You know, especially in not just in Malaysia, in Asian countries. I always see, like, you know, people don't care what they breed. They don't have the right pairing. They still pair the snakes up because they go like anything is better than nothing. It's no longer the case. But again, getting back to what Rob was saying, you have to be if you're not gonna hold back the snakes, at least one out of the clutch. You know, if it's not a project that you're gonna progress, don't do it. But again, that is how we have operated mostly. Rob and I, yes, I do breed a small bunch of snakes that are just for the retail, like the blue eye Lucy's and all. But if you guys notice, I don't produce a bunch of those. I do not produce. I could be producing 200 blue eye Lucy if I want, but I don't do it because I don't enjoy looking at blue eye Lucy's. I find them boring. I find single gene clowns boring. Whatever I do not, whatever I'm not excited to hatch out, I would keep some of them. Maybe I won't keep, but at least I need to be excited to see the result of the pairing. If I'm not excited, I won't do it. I've always been operating in this way, and that is why our snake sells. Our snake sells better because we focus on producing the best snakes possible rather than just producing snakes.
I think when you produce snakes in this day and age, you also need to have a clear idea of who your target market is. Most of these designer ball pythons are going to other breeders. They already have a collection.
Yeah.
And in today's market, they may have a collection bigger than they actually want because they're not getting rid of their surplus. So that market is harder to service, and it's only the very high-end, sought-after snakes that are going to sell into that market. You could aim at the lower end of the market. The pet trade is not saturated. People will always want to buy cheap snakes.
Yes.
And they now have an opportunity to buy some of those middle-range snakes. 3, 4, 5 gene animals that perhaps cost 10k in the past are now going to be available for 1, 1.5, 2k. So there is an opportunity if you are targeting the pet trade, and these people will only have 1 or 2 snakes. So that market, there are far more people that want pet snakes, but they keep far fewer snakes, and it's a lot less specific. So if you're targeting that market, you want to produce snakes that are not so expensive but are very nice to look at. So bananas typically, some nice vanilla combinations with 2 other 3 genes thrown in there, fires, that sort of thing. The readily available genes that can be stacked to produce really nice snakes that are cheap.
And we have proven again and again that we have some very basic combos that look amazing. It's the quality of the morphs that go in and the right morphs that go stack up. So they look amazing. You don't need very expensive projects to make nice looking snakes. And nice looking snakes will always appeal to the hobbyists, and they would always buy it. There's a lot of people in Malaysia and worldwide that get ball pythons just to keep as pets, and that market will not die. We are just talking about the breeder to breeder supply that has been very shaky. The hobbyists are still buying. We are still having walk-in customers walk in. They buy a snake as a pet. That is not dying, and that has not really slowed down that much. The massive difference is that breeder to breeder sales has dropped a lot because everybody is a little bit panicky and a little bit worried of what's happening and everything. But it's not end of the world because the hobbyists are still buying. The market is still flowing. It's just not flowing in the same way that it was flowing before this.
So one of the things that you have to do as a breeder, and this applies particularly to Arwen as a big breeder, you have to identify who your market is, You have to market yourself. Marketing is more important now than ever. And you're not just marketing snakes, you're marketing yourself. People prefer to buy snakes from people that they know and they trust. That's a simple fact of doing business. Your after-sales service should be top-notch. No expense spared at supporting customers that have bought snakes. These are all things that you can do. It takes effort, but it's free. You can do all of these things, and that is the bare minimum in today's market that any breeder should be doing. If you fall short on any of them, you won't sell snakes.
Yeah, I agree. So again, end of the day, so basically in conclusion is breed nice snakes, breed quality snakes, breed healthy snakes, and take care of your customers, and your snakes will sell. So again, it's basically the same thing that we've always been doing. The only difference is that, like I said, the expectation of how much money you could make out of it has grown so much that everybody thinks they dump in a few $100K, they're gonna make $1 million. So that is the problem in this hobby. It's not that the snakes are not selling at all, or it's not that bad. It's not as bad as, I think it's that expectation again. It's again and again the expectation. The breeders that came into and thought they were gonna do really well realized that the snakes are not flying off the shelf.
There's no quick money to be made here. No more.
Yeah, no more. And as it should, because they're animals. End of the day, they're animals that we keep as pets. It shouldn't be, purely financial kind of approach. See, it's not chicken farming. It's not chicken farming. We're not breeding them to slaughter them. We're keeping them to. We are breeding them to be kept as pets. So, keeping all that in mind, everything is basically how it should be. It's just that people need to realize that they have to set their expectations right. So we'll spend a couple of minutes answering them. You want to say anything else?
If you want to enjoy the hobby as a hobby, I think it's important not to lose sight of why you do it. And if you breed too many snakes that you can't sell, you end up paying more to feed them. You end up spending more time than perhaps you thought you wanted to spend looking after your snakes. Keep your breeding under control if you want to enjoy the hobby. Don't end up with so many snakes that you've bred for 2 years without realizing that you can't sell them, and end up with shelves full of snakes that you have to feed and you have to clean, and it becomes a chore. Don't ever let the hobby become a chore.
So basically, don't be greedy.
Don't be greedy.
Don't be greedy. Okay, so let's see. Okay, David has said hi. Hi, David. You should visit us.
I see a lot of names I recognise on there. Do you want me out of this now?
So I heard that I read some of your comments saying that it's not very clear and all, but I think we will probably upload the entire video on our YouTube channel. So then I'll post the link up. So it'll just be as skinny as this. I don't think so I'll edit it that much. We'll just post up the whole episode on our channel, and then there'll be a shorter edited version on Rob's channel. So Avinash, thanks Avinash.
Do you still
yes, Abah Rahim. So to all of you that don't know, Exantics will be cheaper. I'm not sure, Terry. So we're compiling a list. So we have about 370 snakes for sale. We will release the list soon, and
let me answer that question in one word. Yes, they'll be cheaper.
Yeah,
that's more than one word.
My pace. Yeah, because normal, you see exactly why normals are always sold out, why the single gene stuff are always sold out, because the market is moving. It's just not moving as how some of you would expect. Okay, so Faris Fauzi, I would like to experience the journey of breeding ball python. Yeah, I think I saw your comment saying that you're really passionate about ball python, have one at the moment, really looking forward to start a breeding project.
Go for it, Fauzi.
Yeah, you should go for it. I mean, if you're going to breed 3 or 4 snakes, you're going to produce a clutch or 2 a year, it's not really going to cost you much of a financial burden. I think we addressed this whole thing to breeders who were just far too concerned of the financial part of the breeding. If you're doing it for a hobby, if you're doing it because you like it, I don't think you're going to lose money. Say you buy 5 or 6 snakes for 10k ringgit. You enjoy keeping them, you produce some babies, you sell them to your friends. I don't think so you're going to lose money. You're actually going to make money, which is going to cover your feeding costs. It's going to help you upgrade your snakes. I don't see a problem in that. It's just that set your expectations right. It's not a get rich quick scheme. That's it. If you breed, you're not going to lose money. Nothing bad is going to happen to you. You know, the snakes are quite cheap to feed, even though it costs us a lot of money to feed. That's because we have hundreds and hundreds of snakes. At the moment I think I have about 1,000 snakes. So it's different for us, it's different for those hardcore breeders. But if you're a hobby breeder, you have even 20-30 snakes, it's not going to cost much of.
Don't forget the logistics when you're breeding snakes. Plan ahead. Don't forget the logistics of cleaning and feeding. Just to answer a comment here from Robert, let's see how many clutches I can make. Those days should be over. Yes, not only should those days be over, they are over and they're not coming back. I do think that breeders do need to be seasoned breeders, not new breeders coming into the hobby. I encourage new breeders to coming into the hobby to have a go at it, but certainly seasoned breeders I think need to start being a little bit more selective about what they breed. I certainly am. I do not breed anything that I don't have a chance of making a holdback. I don't breed snakes just to sell.
Yeah, even I don't. I think about 70 to 80% of our clutches, everything is aiming at certain project. Then the surplus we sell, because yes, of course, we want like one snake from the whole clutch. Then we sell the rest. But that is the reason why we do most of the pairings. When we pair, we breed snakes that I want to see, that I want to keep, that I want to hatch, that I want to make, that I want to create. So it's always down that. We do make about 20% extra stuff, but that is on the lower end hobby market, which is fine. Those are hatching and selling fine. It doesn't really matter. So yeah, Faris, you want me to create podcasts? I have 2 full-time businesses running. I don't think I can commit to having a full-time podcast or anything. But you could follow Rob's channel on YouTube. It's Rob Barraclaw. You just search him out. He uploads videos from us, videos from him. And we also have a channel that we do update sometimes, but very rarely. Whenever I have time, I'll do a live video here. And you want me to suggest what you could, what you can't breed. It's very subjective. You should head over here. If you come here, then we can talk. You can come and chill, lepak. You can talk to Samir, you can talk to me. You can get a better idea. Not necessarily you have to buy. We enjoy talking about snakes, so you can head over. Okay.
I'll try and get you on a live podcast on my channel. I've had a lot of requests.
Actually someone requested. Who was it?
I don't know,
several people. I had one recently from a Russian guy, Peter Snakes, over in Russia.
I think that's him. Yeah. So we'll try to do a bit more. Okay. Other than that, so I'll just short form the whole thing in Malay for a while. So for our Malaysian viewers, because we're recording the whole thing.
Oh God, I'm here.
Okay. So we're recording this whole thing is going to be up on YouTube. So macam ni lah, senang Kalau simpan bawah python as hobby, kita minat, kita memang minat benda tu, dah tak payah cerita sangat berapa boleh untung, berapa banyak, berapa ringgit spend, berapa percentage untung. Okay, you boleh ulas tak in market apa yang contribute kepada quality? Same off banyak range quality. Okay, Rob akan jawab.
Kalau orang Melayu atau orang Indonesia yang ikut YouTube saya, jangan takut kalau mau bikin komen dalam bahasa. Saya bisa, saya akan jawab.
You talk a bit louder.
There's a good question here from again from Faris Fawzi, talking about quality and examples of the same type of morph, but some of them look way better than others. 2 factors at play here. There is polymorphic and there is polygenic. When you breed snakes, say you breed pastels, no 2 pastels are ever identical. Genetically, their genotype is exactly the same, but their morphology, the way they look, is slightly different. So you pick the best examples and breed to the best examples, and you can take advantage of polymorphic variation. Polygenic variation is where you take a pastel, but it has other genes inside it, perhaps They're unknown genes, genes that we don't give a name to, but genes that are floating around in the collection that make pastel look way better than anybody else's pastel. A good example of that would be Orange Dream from Aussie Boyd. Aussie Boyd's Orange Dreams are way better than anybody else's, and that is because the associated gene pool with his Orange Dreams enhances the look of his snakes. We bring snakes in from Aussie.
Yeah.
They're fantastic looking Orange Dreams. We breed them to our snakes and the results are mediocre. It takes 2 or 3 generations to reconcentrate that auxiliary gene pool. I call them kickers or enhancers. And we've seen that with Desert Ghost. The scare about Desert Ghost being polygenic, and it turns out that Desert Ghost is actually just a simple Mendelian recessive, and it's DGC that produces a visual or a het Desert Ghost. But associated with many of the Desert Ghosts that are being genetically tested is DGA and DGB. That does not make a DG. It just makes the DGs look better. And in fact, DGA and DGB are turning up in a lot of other different recessive combinations, and it makes them look better. That's polygenic, and that's the bit that we try to enhance when we line breed. We try to concentrate those other genes in the gene pool to make our snakes look better. So a pastel is not always a pastel. An Orange Dream is not always just an Orange Dream. With line breeding, you can enhance the quality and the look of the animal. Some of that is polymorphic, no two humans look the same. Some of that is polygenic, and it is actually genetic variation that is passed on predictably to the offspring.
Okay, so let's simplify what he said. Okay, so like cats, like dogs, right? Rottweilers or British short-hair cats, they're the same breed of cats, but the quality really varies. But with mammals and all, it's easy for you to see because of the size, the shape of the body and everything is a lot. With snakes, generally they are about the same shape. What matters is the vibrancy of the color and the pattern. So that's what we focus more on. Of course, it's very important to breed healthy animals which are, anatomically correct and perfect, But also at the same time, the focus has always been on the coloration and the morphs and the pattern. So like you said, we bring in Orange Dream from the best breeder in the world. We do not opt for other breeders' Orange Dream because we know Aussie produces the best. So we pay a premium, we bring it in, and we further work on it a year or two to get it even better. Sometimes certain individual examples are even better than what the original breeder produces, and sometimes it doesn't work as well. So it's always we are working on the higher quality origin. So basically the point A where you start, the snake already has to be nice, and then you work on it. If you already have a lower quality example, something that doesn't look that spectacular, you can do it, but it's going to take you a decade to even improve a pastel. I've done it. I've improved a nice pastel over 10 years that our pastel combination looks good. We have a few firefly entries and all. The pastels look amazing, but that took a decade. If you have a decade, you can do it. But even then, I started with a good quality example.
Yeah.
I buy the best snakes and make them even better. That's the only way you can hold the quality. So how do you make them better is you have to know what interacts better with certain morphs. So you see, like our Bumblebee Calicos, I think we're pretty much unbeatable in Bumblebee Calicos. Our Bumblebee Calicos look amazing. They age really well. They look really good. Even the wobble, we have almost reduced the wobble to a very bare minimum. And even so, we still produce a range of Bumblebee Calicos. We produce some that we sell at less than half the price compared to the nicer ones. They're the same exact morph. It's just a better example. So the better example, of course, is going to produce a better quality result compared to the low quality example. So that is why there is a price variation between the same morphs. A lot of people don't understand this and they refuse to pay more for the same morph, but I have done it, Rob has done it.
Yeah.
I've sold the pastel and Cloud drop for 12,000 ringgit, I think a few years back. So at that time, everybody said the snake was quite expensive. And yes, I was charging a premium. I think the market price was going for about 8,000, 9,000 ringgit. I sold it for 12k. But immediately the next year itself, when he bred the snake, the result was so obvious. He made firefly and clowns that look nothing like you could find online. On the YouTube, you just put in the you just insert the picture. So it looked amazing. I purchased one bag from him, a male, for 10k because it was so nice, and he bought the male and the female from me. He bought a fire clown male and a pastel and clown female, and they produced spectacular baby. So he sold me one. Of course, he kept the better one. See, that's how he makes a better snake. So it's a cycle. You have to start. You have to be willing to spend slightly more. In the long run, it really pays off. You could see me selling Bumblebee Calicos, and on another channel or another common Telegram groups, you could see people trying to sell the same thing. Sometimes at half the price what I'm selling, but it doesn't sell. Even my own snakes. I've had Bumblebee Calicos at about 1,008, 1,009, and I've had some at 4,000 plus. Surprisingly, the 4,000 plus snakes always sell faster, because people are already paying a big sum of money, a significant sum of money. They will always opt for the better one. That's where, you see, cheaper doesn't always sell better. Better snakes always sell better.
Well, they sell better to me.
Yeah. So that I think that's about it. What else we want to talk about? Okay, there's gonna be after we release the price list, to get everybody cheerful, back in the mood. We're gonna do a giveaway. We'll announce it on the.
You were gonna show some snakes and talk about your projects. I'll let you do that.
So we're gonna do a small giveaway thing, where we will announce it on the ARP page. Sabita, I have one boy, and that opened the world to about different morphs and combos. I've never thought that could be. Yeah, see, that's the most special thing about ball python. And some breeders are moving on from ball python to other stuff. They're chasing the next big thing. There's not going to be a next big thing. Ball python is the big thing. It always has been the big thing. It's always going to be the big thing. This industry exists before me, before I was born. I'm quite young, but I'm not that young. So it's been around longer than I've been around. It's been around as long as Rob has been around, and he's as old as Gandalf.
Long time. That's Jurassic.
You guys watch Gandalf? That's Gandalf. He's as old as him. Nobody knows how old he's Rob. So he's been around for quite a while. So he's not just going to disappear. The beauty about ball python is also that there is so many variation. There is no other species on earth that has this many variation ever. So that is a point that no other animal is going to beat this. So that is also going to be part of the reason why it's always going to be number one. The ball python is always going to be number one. There's not going to be another thing that's going to beat it.
When you look at the snake, it's not what it is, it's what you can make with it. And there's infinite possibilities.
Yes.
No matter what snake you have, I'm always thinking, what can I make with that?
There's more than 10,000 combination and morphs. And we're still at the tip of the iceberg. There's just so many things you can do still. So there's always going to be fire in this hobby, like Mr. Rahim said just now. It's always going to go on. It's just that the people who came in thinking they're going to make a quick buck really fast, really a lot, are just going to go off. Fish industry. So there used to be a lot of fish shops popping up between the 2012, 2013, that time. And 90% of them closed down within 1 to 2 years. Has everybody stopped giving fish? Yes, arowana prices have come down, but I know so many people still keep fish. The fish shops are flourishing. There are new fish shops opening. It will always be okay, because as a hobby, it's not gonna die. Who is dying is the people who just thought they could make really a lot of money really fast. So that is the problem with that's why everybody's panicking. Oh, ball python is done. No, the ball python is not done. You are done with ball python. Ball python is fine. The market is fine. Snakes are fine. There's no virus that's killing all the ball pythons in the world through a virus or anything. No, nothing is happening. You are done with ball python because you thought you could make a quick buck. It's just not going to work. Go do something else. I also would advise you to go do something else. For the same amount of effort, you could make a lot more money. Do this if you love the snakes. If you love keeping snakes, if you love reptiles, you enjoy the process of breeding it, you enjoy creating something, this is the best thing. This is my job, and I had the opportunity to do other things which could have made me more money, but I chose to do this, and I'm still choosing to do this. This is still my primary thing because I love doing this. That's it. It's not because it makes me more money than other things. I'm a mechanical engineer. I got job offers. I've had a good prospect. I decided to screw everything and keep doing this because it's what I like doing, even though it brings in less money than other opportunities. So I don't think it's gonna make that much of a difference to most people. Yes, Rob, there's an after party. You should come. We're all gonna go for a pool party. Yeah. Saya suka bawa pattern kuning orange. Yeah, Faris, you should follow us. You can check out a lot of snakes. You can text us if anything. So yeah, other than that, the wrap up of 2023. We have had an amazing season. We made some really nice snakes.
Show Robert your banana G-stripe.
Oh, the banana G-stripe is in shed.
It's in shed, but it's here.
Oh
It's here, but it's in shed.
It still looks good in shed.
Yeah, this snake is in shed, but yeah. Show in front there. You can see better when you point from there. Yeah.
Repeat that, Sonia.
And
This is the banana G-stripe. It's in shed right now, but the colors are really amazing. His head has got a different color also.
so you see, this banana G-stripe is not that expensive. They're pretty affordable snakes.
Okay.
And I think, and so many people have asked to buy this off me, and I want to keep it. I don't want to sell it. I'd rather keep the snake than the money. You see, so that the hobby is not dead. So for those Malaysian viewers that don't know Rob, guys should follow him. Like I said, Rob is a nice old man. He makes a lot of nice videos. He'll teach people about snakes. There's a lot of time.
If you want to know how to breed in Malaysia, yes, you go to Rob.
This is not working.
It's not working anymore.
Okay.
It works for a while.
Put it on the bench down there. That's going to be better. Then we can both film that.
Just freehand this.
No, you can take out the charger. I think it's enough.
Okay.
Look at the eyes. It looks like an earthquake on the video.
So this is an orange dream yellow belly Batman, which is
Your
a
finger is blocking the lens now.
leopard spot nose clown.
Leopard, spot nose, clown,
Orange dream,
with OD
yellow baby.
and yellow belly. It's basically OD Batman. See, I'm not gonna sell this snake. I'm gonna keep it. Even if you offer me 25,000 ringgit, I'm gonna keep this snake. So you see, how is the hobby dead? I'm not dumping snakes out. I'm a lot more keen to keep this snake rather than sell it. This is cool. So I saw some dreamsicles for really affordable price lately, but then again, we are still holding back. We're not even selling this at
Dreamsicles have come down a lot
Yeah.
in price.
but it still costs less to make them. It's not like they cost more to make than what they sell for. So this is an albino clown. So for those who ask for quality difference, right? So this is just a standard albino clown. It's not lavender. But as you can see, the color is really nice. The pattern is really nice. So stuff like this will sell better than the standard old looking albino clown. So we'll go for the exantic clown. The exantics don't really show that well in videos and pictures, but we'll try.
This is the
We'll
new
do it side by
exantic.
side. Yeah.
You've been trying for 11 years to get
11
this
years.
combo.
Yeah, look at this. I spent so much money. No matter how much I sell this, it's not worth it. But it's worth the whole joy and the process of making it. I was so stubborn. I was not going to buy one. I was going to make it from scratch. So this is live video, guys. So we're not editing it. There's nothing going on. As you can see, my face was not orange or anything just now. So this is one of the top set of snakes that we made this year.
This is our famous Clorox snake.
Yeah, this snake, we accidentally dropped Clorox bottle on it when it hatched.
Oh, it looks nice. on
We have a
video.
few. There's another one that looks even better.
I didn't bring that one.
So you're going to tell them what it is?
No, I'm just gonna let them figure out. This is Leopard Pastel Highway. That's it. It's just Leopard Pastel Highway.
Leopard Pastel Highway.
It's not even anything crazy.
This is game changing.
So this is nice.
Now this is something that we're going to be working with in the future. This is a new combination for both of us, and if you've ever wondered why certain snakes are more expensive than other snakes, the difference in price in these two snakes and the different genetics. Do you want to explain that?
So it's much simpler to make this snake, even though it looks more eye-catchy, and it's much simpler to make, so that's why it costs less, but also at the same time there is not much we could go from this. But this one, I would say this is still if you compare a normal to a white paper, this is just a beige plain paper. You could draw a lot of stuff on this, you can add a lot of things, you can really push it to a whole different level. So this snake will cost more, and it is also much harder to make.
The other difference is that when you breed the Leopard Pastel Highway, the combinations that you make that are not the top end will be much less than the combinations you can make with the other snake. Even the ones that don't have the same genes from this second snake will also be quite high-end snakes.
So you see, this snake is not that pricey, it looks very pretty. That's Orange Stream Yellow Belly Leopard combo. So these are some of the stuff that we made. Of course, we've made a lot. We're not gonna sit here and show our top 100 snakes. We've also sold some of them, so we can't be showing some of them. And our good old Gotham. So they are both clowns.
So the Gotham is the Leopard Banana clown. The other one, are you going to tell them what it is?
Oh, that one is a Mojave Spot Nose Fire Yellow Belly Clown.
So it's the Mojave and Spot Nose combination that makes that snake look so nice.
Yes.
Didn't think that would work quite so well as it has.
You see, lessers will not work that well. That's why I've never worked with lesser clowns. Lesser clowns are pretty much dead end stuff. You can't go far with lessers. It's just too washed out. It's just too powerful of a gene. But with Mojave, there is the right sweet spot where it brings a lot to the snake, yet you could still add more. So now you can see the banana G-stripe color.
So this
snake is not expensive at all, but look at it. Just look, it's amazing. Any hobbyist would be really happy with that.
This is Spot Nose Mojave, Yellow Belly, Clown.
And Fire.
Yeah.
And Fire.
Yeah. We also have a few sable combos that look close.
Sable is another gene in the Spot Nose complex, and when you start mixing it again with Mojave, it looks awesome.
Yeah. Mojave and sable are lilac, is it?
Yes. No. Mojave's in the Bell complex, and it's in the same complex as Spot Nose and Sable are a lilac.
But Mojave and Cinnamon is a lilac.
Mojave, Mystique, Special.
That's why Mojave and Spot Nose or Mojave and Sable look so good together, because they're not a lilac. You can see both genes.
Oh, look at this! Spot Nose and Pastel. Everybody says Spot Nose Pastel is ugly. Look at this.
That's got Yellow Belly in it.
Yes.
Yeah, it has Yellow Belly and Mojave in it.
And Vanilla.
Right, that makes the difference.
I'll show you another pastel clown. This snake aged really well. So this one here is a pastel highway clown. That's it. I haven't added in the leopard. I haven't added a lot of stuff in it. I'm gonna add in OD and leopard into it. I think it's gonna be mind blowing.
Enchi would work well too.
I think Enchi would kill it.
Enchi would put too much pattern.
Yeah, I think it'll put too much pattern.
So you wouldn't get the stripes down the side.
But
you would get
Enchi
solid
with OD
colour.
might work because OD will reduce it.
Right.
Or Enchi and OD might reduce it far too much. Well, we'll figure out. That's the fun. You see, guys, that is the fun. You can't put a price on it. And eventually, when we make a snake, we're not going to lose money out of it. We're just not going to make as huge as a profit as we made 2 years ago.
Hongchu wants to see a Sable Clown combo.
Maybe you can pass to Rob for a while. Can you help me hold it?
Do it again.
Don't fall again down. I was just... These are really pretty snakes. Especially this banana G-stripe. This is in shed now, you know. It's going in shed. Or it's clearing up. Yeah, it's clearing up. You can see
Yeah,
that.
so it'll shed in the next couple of days. Its eyes are gone clear.
Yeah, but look at the color of it. Very, very simple combo.
Now you are going to be surprised when you see this Sable Clown because it's going to look like Spot Nose.
Yeah, and also you have to understand the Sable Clown is very basic. I think it's just Sable Mojave Clown. So it's not really, it's not an end product, it's nowhere close to the end product. Like these
But
stuff are more
The
evolved.
thing with Sable is that it's already a dark gene. So for instance in Pompeii, the Spot Nose, what is it, Spot Nose, Yellow Belly, Red Stripe, Black Pastel, you don't, if you use Sable, you don't need Black Pastel because it's already dark.
And I do think the Sable, I'm hoping that it will actually be a better option rather than the Black Pastel. Because Sable has more pixelated look to it. Let me just put back some of this. Sherwan, I do not have lesser pipe, but lesser pipes are full white. Might as well you go for a bell. But yes, lesser pipes are cleaner white.
So here are three Sable Clown combos.
I should have brought the Sable X Clown.
Here you go.
But that looks very thin.
Very dark and nice.
So there's 3 Sable Clown combos. You want to talk us through those? Again, the similarity with Spot Nose is incredible.
Okay, so this one is a Sable Pastel Mojave Vanilla Clown. So look at the color, it's really good. I really like it. I really like how creamy it looks. It's kind of chocolate kind of look to it. All of them have that very chocolatey look. So as you can see, it has darkened up the Mojave and the clown is still showing really well, but there's a lot that can be still done with this snake because the patterns are not that heavy. So
And the reason you mentioned chocolate is again in the same complex. It's a lilac with Spot Nose.
yes, this is how a much more plain Sable clown will look like. I like the looks of this far more than Black Pastel clowns. So, and I do think the Sable will be a better option than Black Pastel clown. I could be wrong. We'll find out in a couple of years. But I do believe that it is a step forward if anybody is looking towards replicating the Pompeii look to it. Yeah. So I think that's about it. So future projects. So for 2024, we will be focusing more on the DG stuff, enhancers, double recessive, triple recessive. We're moving more into triple recessive stuff. So there's always a good recovery plan. When things are going slow, hit even harder. Breed even more expensive snake. I think it worked. I think we've been live for quite some time. I think we can, if
2 hours.
yeah, I think if that's about it, we can wrap up. So maybe we can keep some of the snakes. So Q&A, guys. You know what? I'll show you an adult Iron Man. Put them back. Take the adult female. If she's not in shed.
She's not in shed, she just shed.
Yeah.
Pepper pots.
Yes.
Yeah. Pepperpot is pastel. This is just the Iron Man. Robert is trying to make his own Silky Way, ivory to leopard yellow belly. Yes, Robert. You see the Silky Ways. I would try to encourage you to put Enchi into the combo. They look way better. The
Leopard and Enchi into the ivories together.
So basically, the Enchi Silky Ways look really good. Even the pastel Enchi Silky Ways looks really good.
No, she just sheds. It's dirty, but she's really glowing.
Okay. So this is a full-grown adult Iron Man. So this after fully dulling out, the colors have all gone down. There's no, but you can see how much there's orange. See, there's a lot of people who think it's dirty, but it took quite process to get here, and we can push this even further. We can clean up this dirt. The dirt is not a problem. We could just clean up anytime. Oh, but sure is shared.
Shit.
But yeah,
Still
but
looks
it's
good.
okay, still
Yeah, I
looks
will just show. Okay, this snake
This has vanilla in it.
is
so it's
actually
clean.
this is Rob's snake. So I think I hope Rob is okay with us showing his snake. So this is one of the most beautiful snakes we've made. I love this snake. It's full. As you can see, these snakes are big.
And it's not a clown. No recessives in that.
Yeah, you can have some.
This one is.
Oh, this one is not man. He's talking about this.
Oh.
So there's no recessive in this at all. If you think about it, they are all basic genes. Look at the color. Snakes are absolutely stunning. This is a 7-gene snake. The odds were 1 in 128 to make one. It's a really, really special snake for us. I love this snake. And it was actually a byproduct. I was aiming for a clown version of it. But I was very happy when we hatched it, and I'm very happy how it aged. Believe it or not, this fly is in shed. I think it's clearing up. It's going to shed in a couple of days.
Do you want to share some discoveries we've made about Orange Dream working so well with Enchi and now vanilla?
Yeah, so you see, certain genes work better with certain genes. For example, we found out that, you see, this has vanilla in it. So the vanilla is really helping the OD to make it very creamy, and the Enchi gives it the pop. So there's certain allelic look to it when you put in Enchi and OD together.
Enchi and Orange Dream actually look like a super Enchi.
Yeah. So yes, you always have to do more research and find out what works better with certain morphs. Can we see the other one or something?
Which one?
So this look with Orange Dream, Enchi, Leopard, Yellow Belly, all combined into one snake,
Yeah.
we've managed to produce the same pattern in a slightly different look to all the snakes, but that combination of genes seems to give this tiger stripe type appearance.
Yes. So that's why we named it Sher actually. In Hindi, Sher means tiger. So that's why we gave it the Sher name. The moment it hatched, I went like, this is Sher. I also had a serval cat named Sher, which I sold at that time. I was quite sad, so I named it Sher. So other than that, you know what's the best part about this? Yes, 7 genes and everything is showing up, and I could think 3 more genes to stack up on this. I could put in OD on this, we stack up another copy of OD on it, and we could stack up another copy of Enchi. I think it will still work.
I think the Super OD version of this would clean up this little bit of dirt in a
Yes.
Super OD would clean that up. Super Enchi would perhaps clean that up too.
Yeah, so
But then the odds are just...
yeah, well, that's the fun part. So a lot of people are concerned of the dirt and everything, but guys, trust me, to get the color pop to this level is already very, very difficult.
Somebody's asking if that's for sale. No.
And this okay, can I tell them how much you bought it for?
Yeah.
Okay, so this snake I sold for 45,000 ringgit to Rob. And you know what? I sold him on a buyback deal. So basically, if I ever change my mind, I could buy it back from him.
This is Black and Lavender.
Yeah, it's black and lavender. So when he was slightly younger, it used to really glow, you know, like neon. It still has the glow, but not as crazy as it was.
I have one. I might add a section to this video. I've got a hatchling. Nice.
This flow peaked out at about 600 grams. It looked really crazy. It was glowing.
Yeah,
I think
no,
that's
ready.
about
We're just
like
going to
that.
wrap it up now.
Yeah, we're just gonna wrap it up. So we're gonna continue making good snakes. We're not gonna stop making amazing snakes. What else are we gonna do? Yeah, we're just gonna keep making more snakes. We're gonna keep making nicer snakes in lesser quantity, because also we had a big season. So it's usually a big season is followed by no season for us. But this time, because there's a lot of holdbacks that we did not breed last season, so we'll breed about 30 snakes. 30 snakes, we'll be expecting about 20-ish clutch, which I think is pretty reasonable, because I have to keep producing nice snakes. If not, I will
Got to
feel
stay
very
ahead
unhappy.
of the game.
Yeah, plus I'll feel very unhappy if I don't hatch pretty snakes. So that's about it. Any questions, guys?
When I put this up on my channel, I might do a live after it and do a Q&A for...
Actually, I don't mind uploading the whole thing.
Yeah.
The whole thing on
I'll just
top.
edit out the old
No.
shits.
No, pass me a copy of the whole thing without any editing. I'll just upload it on ARP channel. So then we'll just link it. Anybody can re-watch the whole thing, and then we'll watch. We will edit a more
I've got
compromise.
like 2.5 hours worth
Yeah,
and
yeah.
2 battery packs I've used.
Yeah. And you know what's the best part? Only 20 people watching. All this for 20 people. Wrong. But it's okay. Once we upload it on YouTube. I think today is Saturday. Everybody's out in the clubs. Very bad people. So thanks for watching, guys. Some of you have been around for the past 2 hours. Thanks, Rob. Rob is from UK, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Robert is from UK. So thanks for joining our group. Thanks for watching. And Hong Chu, thanks for watching for the whole time, and the rest of you. If anything, you guys know how to contact me. I'm all over the place. So I think that's about it. It's 10 plus. It's way past Rob's bedtime. He's getting cranky. So I think we'll end this here. Good night, guys. Bye bye.
Okay guys, congratulations if you made it right to the end. There is some interesting stuff there, and I thought I would do a Q&A session live to answer any of you guys' questions on what Arwin just said, if you think it's worthwhile. I'm also going to follow up with my own video called 10 Strategies for Getting You Through This Market Crash. So drop down in the comments below, ask any questions you want, tell me whether you think it's worth doing a live stream on this to answer questions, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to share, like and subscribe. See you next time.